Hello.
I was just wondering, Mikel, in the 3-4-3 we've seen you playing recently, is there a role for Mesut in that? Because I think many people only see him as a number 10, but could he work in that system, do you think?
Yeah, I think players can adapt to different systems, and we can adapt systems for different players. Sometimes it's not just about what we want to play or how we want to play. Sometimes we have to try to fit the players that we have available in the right moments, in the right position to perform and be comfortable on the pitch to do what we require them to do. So it's always a place for a player of his quality.
And just one on Bakaya, we've obviously seen him this season at left back, left wing, even central midfield. Now he's signed long term. Where do you see his best position over the next 4 years?
Evolving, getting better, and getting to understand different positions, and finally we will fit him in one that gives the best. But at the moment we need it to float a little bit because it gives a lot of versatility to do different things, even with the same shape. He understands the position really well. He picks the movements and the situations and when to use the spaces really, really quickly. He's very intelligent, and I think it's a really good thing for his development to do that.
And lastly, we've obviously got the Euros next summer. Is that something you think Bakaya should be looking at, saying, I want to be playing in that tournament?
I don't know. He should be looking at and keep performing like he's doing, keep training, keep improving, trying to be the best in training as he can every day. And if he does that, we know the potential that he has and things will come to him naturally.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
Hi, Mikel.
Hello.
Hi. You've spoken a couple of times recently about players being on the boat and they're welcome if they're on the boat. Can you just perhaps explain to us what you mean by on the boat and what sort of behaviour you're looking from players, whether good or bad, please?
The players that respect the values that we want to implement, that they are 100% committed to our culture, and players that are accountable every day for what we demand from them, and players that are ready to help each other, fight for each other, and enjoy playing together. That's what I mean by being in the boat. If you behave like this every day, you are very, very welcome here, and we want to get the best out of you and help you to enjoy your profession with us.
How do you judge that in training? Is it something you see by eye? Is it something you see in numbers?
Now we don't spend as much time as we used to be before, but you see that in every reaction. Player at what time he comes into training, how he comes, how ready he is, the way he communicates, the energy that he brings in, the way he transmits his feelings to his teammate, the way he reacts to certain things, the way he behaves in training, during games. There's a lot of things that we can pick up.
When you were a player, I mean, would you have noticed a player alongside you perhaps not giving everything?
Yes.
And if you did, would you, because you obviously were the captain in the club, would you have said something, or would it be someone else? Yeah. I mean, can you think of an example without perhaps naming a player?
I can think a lot of examples, but is this, and we all had moments when you doubt about your future, you have difficult times. That's what the conversation has to be open, and you have to create an environment for the players that they can trust you to express their feelings, even with me. And if you do that, you are always willing to help them, to try to guide them, to give them clarity, direction, and support when they need to feel comfortable and make them feel that they are the right place.
Thank you.
As you know, we're asking questions on behalf of other people in the room, and Sam Dean from The Telegraph is concerned that Ozil has now missed 2 games with back soreness. Are you able to explain what the nature of this precise nature of that injury is? And is it a chronic problem that might keep recurring over the coming years?
I don't know. I'm not the medical expert to answer to that question.
You've got some medical experts who presumably could tell you.
Yeah, they could say that, but I haven't asked that specific question. But at the moment, the situation is like last week.
I'm just interested because on Mesut Ozil's injury record, for 3.5 years before he came to Arsenal, he didn't miss a single game through injury. And now this is his 18th time that he's missed games due to a medical problem. I mean, you were supposed to be injury prone. I looked up your record. You only had 14 injuries in nearly 15 years. it seems an incredible amount of minor niggles on one player. Is there something about him that makes him susceptible to this? And is it something that the medical team can get on top of, or is it just something you've got to accept with him?
I think the medical department will try to assess the situation the best possible way and try to treat him as well as he possibly can. But everybody is different and everybody adapts different way to treatments, and it's not something that I have much to say.
It seems, if you forgive me for saying it seems you're very blasé about injury to a player who picks up so much in terms of salary and is presumably could be such a great player. The fact that you don't know exactly what's his condition just seems at odds with a player of his stature. When we hear about Harry Kane's toe and ligament every week and every minor detail, and other key players, you hear about every single little bit of their injury, and yet here's a player who's could be an integral part of the team, a key part of the team, and you're just leaving it to the medical department. Is that because he's not particularly part of your thoughts at the moment?
I don't know. I would not like to compare players with different situations, different injuries at the moment, and I just say what the information that I have.
But I'm just saying, you don't seem to be asking any questions from your medical department. Is that standard, or is that just...
I ask the questions and they give me the answers, and there are enough answers from me.
Fair enough. Okay, well, there's no point going... I mean, Tom Barkley from The Sun is interested in Nuno Espirito Santo, and you first met him in a match back in October 2017 in an EFL Cup game where Wolves held City to a 0-0 draw and then lost. City won on penalties. That was only about a dozen games into his time in England. Did you see something then about what he was doing to suspect he would be quite as successful as he is?
Yeah, and as well the previous club that he was at it, that he always managed to get his teams playing the way he wanted, with a very clear philosophy, and you could see what he was trying to do. I think he sets up the club in a really clever way as well, where he knows exactly the players that he needs to bring in. The recruitment department, I think, has been really good. He has kept the core of the team that is giving stability, and he's adding pieces all the time that is improving the team and the squad, and I think he's doing an incredible job.
And it's coming on for 3 years. Well, it's over 3 years now. He's been there. Is that a model for clubs now? And is that something that Arsenal need to get back to when they had that longevity with the same manager for so long? Is that something that all clubs should follow and have that long-term plan?
Well, I believe that long-term plan is able to be sustainable when the people at the top as well, and everybody believes that is the right way to do things, that they can see a very clear direction of what they are trying to achieve, and everybody's convinced of that. And obviously the result has to be supporting that idea. And I think he had all the right ingredients, because he's been doing very, very well since he joined. And obviously things slowly have been developing, and he's where he is at the moment.
Brilliant. Thank you for your time this evening, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.